favorite way to start every podcast is?
What? Oh, ho, ho. Well, let me retort. You got to do the...
Oh, yeah. I want za. Check, check. That's about as loud as I'm going to go right there. Otherwise, making sure I'm not being an asshole. Okay.
Chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Oh, wait a minute.
Are we recording?
Yeah, I want to make sure that this mic right here.
Got to
Okay.
make sure
Talk.
you ain't got a lumpy
I'm going to talk.
butt.
I like talking. Okay. Yay. Now we're professional.
I started watching something. I started a season this past weekend.
Was it summer? Because summer started without you.
Negative Ghost Rider. I started watching the first season of Shameless.
Shameless. The UK or the American one?
The American one, the white trash in Chicago. I got into it because the guy from The Bear
Yeah. That's where
is super good.
it's the first place I ever saw him was
Yep.
on Shameless.
So I went over to Shameless to check it out, and it is I tried to explain some seasons to my wife, and it is so off the wall.
Yeah.
I said it's like it's almost similar to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia as far as like the depravity
There
of
we
the
go.
people.
Without the humor.
No, I mean it's comedy. It's yeah. I mean it's always it's never sunny in Chicago. Is really what the Shameless is. Oh my God! Did you watch the first season?
Yeah, I think so. I watched 4 seasons of the British one, and then I watched the first season of the American one, and I was like, "Oh, it's the same thing, but it's actually I like it better." But then like Andy watched them all.
Did she?
Yeah.
What did she think?
She fucking loves Shameless. I kind of bounced around because it's a little too heavy for me at times. It's a little too. I can't do heavy all the time.
It's not that heavy though. I mean, it's like real super dark humor.
Oh, and I appreciate the
super
dark
humor. But it's always, like I at least so far I don't feel like they've hit like anything that's supposed to be. Well, I don't know. The cop's daughter.
Okay.
That guy was
A show that's like 15 years old is no longer in the spoiler category.
okay. Where the Lip's girlfriend, who's incredibly promiscuous, like the dad who's into clowns and is a complete asshole, asks her to do like one of those promise things where she would reclaim her virginity back.
Yeah.
And then they make the girls essentially tell an entire group of men all the things that they've done, which seems like super crazy. But I don't know if that's how it's really done, but that's like creepy as hell. But she started describing all the things that she had done,
right?
And he, calls her a whore, and she goes off the deep end, and that was pretty dark.
I remember it getting like real dark. I remember it getting like heavy.
That part got really heavy. I felt.
I remember there are a lot more issues.
I don't know. I think because it was raised to be a white trash person in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of that stuff resonated a little bit, but I don't know. Pretty good show. I think I finished the whole first season, and I look forward to watching the rest whenever I have time.
When are you watching shows?
I can fit it in on the weekends.
There we go.
And you got to remember, I wake up like at 4:30 in the morning.
That's right. You get up like really early to have like a little alone time
Yeah, so I can watch, whatever I want and just kind of shove things in
before you got to run out.
I'm nowhere near as busy as my wife. Like, if anything, like I probably sit down and watch too many things.
No shit.
Yeah, my wife is like a rock star. She does grad school, and she,
But she's almost done.
She is August 11th. She'll be done.
God, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I mean, I still need to get licensed, so I still need to have a bunch of things done. But like she's already been licensed and she did grad school and now she's going to be done August 11th.
So what's the party plan?
She wants to do something at Funway. I think she wants to do something at Funway.
So fucking awesome.
Yeah, Funway is super neat, man.
You explained it ad nauseum.
Yeah. I was very, very happy with the laser tag. Laser tag is way funner than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But my back has been really, my back has been so, and I have a plantar fasciitis in my left foot, which is just incredibly painful. I got like a roller thing on my foot that I've been starting. I've been trying to do a lot of these stretches for my back, but I think now that I've been doing that a lot, it makes it worse, like in the beginning.
Really?
Yeah. Oh man, dude, you've done rehab for sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. When like your chest.
I mean,
when you did like your chest stuff.
I thought
yeah.
you meant like the injury got worse. Like,
No.
yeah. Oh my God, the pain and horribly. Yeah.
Yeah. So since I've been doing a lot of the rolling and doing a lot of the stretching on the back, I've been incredibly uncomfortable.
But that's building up your muscles again, and it sucks. But yeah, it is necessary. It's important and makes you better. Just takes a long time.
The idea that your 40s are the result of the decisions that you made in your 20s and 30s is like really coming to fruition.
Yeah.
Like the weight gain that I did and all of like the hard labor. I mean, I don't know how many old dudes said, "Don't lift like that with your back." I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I can lift up dump trucks. Lift and jerk.
Well, what's the line? The youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people try to tell you otherwise. They really try to say, like, don't fuck this up. And fuck you, Grandpa. I know what I'm talking about.
If you could do life again with the knowledge that you know now, would you go through it again?
I think about this actually way more than I should. You know how like when you're a kid and you keep thinking like there's going to be quicksand sometime in my life, so I need to be able to understand how to get out of it, right? I think about going back in time way too much.
So how far back would you go? With the knowledge that you know now.
What would I do? Or because my scenario is always like you're thrust back in time to X. How like what would you do then? And like I do different scenarios in my head, and it's not like I'm like sitting there thinking like, what would I do? It's like my brain just goes into auto mode, and it's like, well, this is what I'm thinking about now, and I don't want to think about this, but that's all I think about for like the next half an hour.
Like, let's go through the scenario. Like, let's say,
give me a time.
40-something-year-old Jay gets thrust into 5-year-old Jay.
Ooh.
And think about like the actual real repercussions of that. Like, you have the mind of an adult that has adult appetites. At least your brain does, but like your body wouldn't.
Right.
There's things that you would want to do and say and act that you couldn't do. You'd have to almost pretend at 5 years old that you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Or like there would be like really like if you had like a 40-year-old kid who could just like, or I'm sorry, like a 5-year-old kid that can just,
pontificate.
Talk at great lengths about Akira Kurosawa.
Yeah.
Like it would be cool, but like people would really be freaked out. I think it would make for a really cool movie. You know what I mean?
Well, everyone and their brother has beaten you to this. This is
the actual
in anime. This is so okay. First off, in anime, there's 4 different seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. Okay, each season there's like 30 or 40 new shows. Right? Of those, let's say 30 shows, at least 5 of them are this plot line.
Serious?
Yeah.
At
least for the past 2
I think
years.
in the West, it's always assumed you're going to go back to high school.
Yeah, because that was like the golden age, and
it was not the golden age.
No, it was fucking terrible. What would I do? Like, I kind of just want to I don't want to think about the answer. I kind of just want to riff off the very first thing that comes to mind. And to me, that answer is going to be way funnier and way more demonizing to my life. So I think I wouldn't tell my mom or dad about what happened. You know,
At what age? Just
at 5. Let's
Okay.
just say 5. And then I'll grow up past there. Okay? Actually, we're both going to do 5, and then we're both going to do middle school, and then we're both going to do high school.
Okay.
Okay. So 5, I would find a teacher or someone who's kind of important, but not really important. And I would make them my, my slave.
Okay.
Okay. I would tell them things, and I would speak normally and hopefully more educatedly than me starting this episode. And
I would talk smart really good.
and I would not act like that around anyone else. So I would keep it a secret. I would use this knowledge to my advantage, not for material gain, because I think that's like the dumbest fucking thing you can do, because that's monkey's paw waiting to happen. Monkey's paw is like the one thing, the one folklore or urban myth that I legitimately believe in, because basically it's tempting karma. You want to make a wish on something. You want to be rich. Well, your whole family just fucking died, and you inherited their money. So, congratulations. Like, that's what I think. So I don't think I would do it for material gain, but I would do it for self-survival.
You would screw up somebody, whoever your chosen,
Yes.
whoever your chosen person would be.
Wholeheartedly.
You're gonna screw them up really bad.
That's why they're not so important, but they're important enough to get shit done that I needed, because as like a 5 or 6 year old, whatever, I can't do things. You know, I couldn't walk into a store and buy a book or something like that without looking fucking weird, but I would tell them to, or I would tell them to do something else. And it would be very easy to convince someone at that age and being that smart, and then fucking faking the smartness past that. I'm assuming that I am smart at this age right now.
right?
Well, what would you do at 5?
I mean, I would feel so incredibly trapped. I wouldn't. I think I would try and have fun like a kid would.
Really?
Like I would do all the fun things. I would really embrace just being able to draw whenever I want to. I could still read. Like nobody has to. I used to read all the time when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I would draw more. I'd read more. I think I would I would start my architectural career earlier. I think I would
5.
at 5, like to be able to like have the mind of somebody who has experience as an architect and like design things all the way through and like really be able to like oh man, like the schools and everything you'd be able to go to. But you know, here the thing is, like, you know, the caveat, like you'd never meet your wife, you'd never.
Yes.
I know where she lives now, though.
So I'd go stalk her at night.
I could. I would probably. No, I don't know. Well, you also got to remember, like, I had a traumatizing youth with some things.
Mm-hmm.
I would navigate around that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You remember in the one movie, what was that? The Butterfly Effect.
Yeah,
He was able to go back in time and talk to the adults that were shitty. The adults that I know are dangerous. I would have a grown up conversation with them.
Correct.
Yep.
Agreed. Also, in that note, have you ever seen the original ending before they reshot it?
I did. I love that ending.
Stupid endings.
We talked at great lengths. Oh, I think that is like one of the coolest endings ever.
It's okay. That's such a fucking good movie until they changed it. Fuck the producers.
The ending was where
such a good movie.
Like literally he came alive as a baby.
He went back in time enough to be in the fetus
and hung himself
and
with
killed
his own.
himself in the womb. Yeah. It was
Because
fucking
he knew
perfect.
that he would save everybody. That is like so freaking dark, but like holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just try and like I would try to make the best out of things. I didn't like keep up with sports, or I would I would if I could keep up with
At
sports at 5. I mean, like, you could.
Because we're gonna escalate late here. Because I want to get to like.
Yeah, like I would like, you can't gamble.
Yeah.
And like nobody in my family gambled, or I'd say like, oh, you could do this, but nobody in my family bought stock, so it wouldn't matter whether I knew what stock to buy.
I don't think, but that's dangerous. Is putting out too much information.
Yes,
Because at what point does someone else find out, and then you're taken away?
and you're like the golden goose.
Well, not only the golden goose, but then you're dissected. Then you're like, what's wrong with your brain that you know all this stuff that other people can't? Now you're going to be in a cage.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I wouldn't tell anyone, but I would want a slave.
I wouldn't have a slave. I would just
Not a
say-
slave. That's a wrong terminology.
I would try.
A
I
cult
would
follower.
At 5 years old, I would do my best to set myself up for success.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. Without letting on too much. Yeah. Okay. Better question, because that gave us a little bit of a wide berth. Going back in time.
You know what's funny is,
1
like,
week in middle school.
for 1 week in middle
1 week
school,
only.
I know the names of 3 kids whose ass I would just stomp a mud hole in.
Yeah.
Because middle school was the worst. Like that's when kids were ruthless. And I know 3 kids that were just so incredibly mean to me. And I know it's like, as a 40-year-old dude, like, you're not supposed to care, but oh man,
But
they're
that shit
asking for it.
molds you. And that's where I'm thinking I'm coming from too. That shit molds you to who you are now. And I don't think
That was like, probably, was it Louis C.K. is the one who kind of did the bit where it's like, when you're around 12 years old, that's when you try out being mean, and you got to kind of see the look on somebody else's face and kind of feel gross yourself and say, oh man, that's, I don't like what I did there.
Yeah.
And that happened in middle school, where you get picked on really bad and you felt awful. And I remember doing that to other kids. Oh, here, you want to hear a side story? Oh my
Always.
God. Whew, did I ever tell you there was my ma had a printer with stickers. They were about an inch wide and about
Stickers.
3 or 4 inches long, and it was on a printer that you could just print out. Like, there were stickers that were attached to an Apple IIe printer. So if you wanted to print out all these stickers, there were like labels that you would put on envelopes.
Oh, okay.
And my parents had thousands of these. And I brought in like a stack. Like, one stack would have about a dozen.
Okay.
And I had multiple boxes that were 4 inches tall.
Okay.
And I brought in these stickers and would write "kick me" on them.
Okay.
And you were in grade school when this happened. Okay. I ended up bringing these stickers in and sticking them on people, and then we would start to give them out. I just started handing them out like crazy, to the point
You're like the drug dealer.
that there were like hundreds of these stickers all over the school.
Are you kidding?
And there were "kick me" signs all over the place. And like, teachers and principals and all these people got involved because there was so many kids. Like, there's kids I feel so bad for, because they were picked on so bad in grade school because of these stickers. Most of these kids didn't even go on to high school because they were picked on so bad because of these stickers.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
This is like the hamster fire of 08, whatever Troy says in Community. I started the hamster fire of 08.
Yeah, this would be the great "kick me" sign debacle
my God.
of West Chicago Junior High School in.
Wait, that's not grade school. That's junior high.
It was junior high.
Oh, I don't remember. Grant, my fucking memory.
There's a good chance that,
Oh, there's a giant chance it was on me.
like,
Giant.
there would I had stickers stuck on me. Like, everybody did. Everybody did.
Huh. I don't remember this at all. But
Yeah.
Again, I do remember first day of fucking 7th grade though.
Yeah.
I remember it fucking vividly for one goddamn reason. I think I've talked about this, before the now. But my dad scared the shit out of me because he said, boys are going to shower in PE class, so you have to bring a change of underwear. And I had underwear in my bag all day for the first day of 7th grade until I got to English class. And we're all sitting down in the middle it's the beginning of class, and the teacher, who by the way was the hottest fucking teacher I had ever had, couldn't fucking tell you her name, but I just remember, like, as soon as I got in the class, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna love this class. And she's about to close the door, and looking back, what a bitch fucking move this was. But she goes, whose little brown underwear is on the floor outside?
Oh no.
And being the
It's my brown underwear.
being the fucking idiot that I am, stood up and walked outside and grabbed them.
Oh man.
So that was fun.
So you have the mind of a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
How would you handle 2 weeks of middle school?
1 week.
1 week of middle
1
school.
week. One, I would fucking shit myself that I woke up in middle school, because it is like, those were like the founding fucking days of being bullied.
Did you have Mrs. Bungie for art class?
I definitely did, yeah.
She was the worst art teacher that could ever exist.
I did not like her either.
She was awful. She was so awful.
She
I
yelled
can't
at
believe
me for drawing.
she yelled at me for drawing too. You didn't draw exactly what I said. You got an F. My mom was shocked because I failed art.
Yeah.
I failed art. Never happened.
Congratulations, architect.
Couldn't believe it.
You're like the Michael Jordan of architecture.
Oh my god.
But oh god, so like the lizard brain in me would put at least 2 kids in their place with a baseball bat to their face.
Was one of the kids somebody who punched you in the face?
Yes.
I know exactly who this is.
I don't remember his name. I don't, and I don't care. Like, if you remember it,
Yep,
I
do.
I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Because I don't want that shit in my head.
Okay.
I don't care. Like, I've had bullies in the past who have died over, like, car accidents or something like that. Oh god, I remember this so vividly. So we're at my mom's friend's house, and as a kid, when we used to go there was a kid down the street who used to pick on me, and he like, this is before I moved from Addison to West Chicago. He used to pick on me all the fucking time, and then we would still go back to see the family, and he'd still like beat me up at like family gatherings and stuff, right? Like, he'd drag me over to like the other alleyway and just beat the shit out of me. Well, as a kid, beat the shit is different, but I remember, like, I was in college and my mom called me and she was like, blah, 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 died. He was in a car accident and he was drinking. I'm like, good, fuck him. And I don't give a fuck if you are that fucking inhuman to anyone else. I don't care how fucking young we were. I don't care. Like, when, I'm not going to say his name on here because that would be really shitty to do, but that kid in high school who used to sit outside the goddamn wrestling shower picking his belly button.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not picking, fingering his belly button.
While watching a shower? Why did the wrestling coaches allow that?
I always think that. I think that so fucking much. I'm like, why did they allow that to happen? Why didn't they just slap his ass and go, get the fuck out of here? When I heard he died, I was like, fucking good. That dude was a pedophile in the making.
The other wrestlers hated him and slashed his bike tires, and he wasn't, like, nobody wanted him there, but the coaches were okay with it. That was so weird. That was so incredibly weird.
It was uncomfortable.
I remember his name too.
I remember his name.
Yeah.
But I don't fucking feel bad for these people.
You gotta remember that, like, monsters aren't born, monsters are made.
They're not
created
in a vacuum. Yes. Would I kill them? No, I would not kill them. Seriously, like, we've had this conversation in the past few weeks. I've gotten very sensitive to life and shit. No, I would not. But I would stand the fuck up for myself. And that's what, when I was young, I was always a big kid. My mom she was telling me this in preschool and kindergarten. I remember this fucking viscerally. I can't remember fucking high school, but I remember my mom telling me this. She said, you are bigger than everyone else. You cannot fight back, ever. You will hurt them. So I used to get picked on. I got Josh B. pushed me off the top of a slide, and I cracked my head on the fucking ground, and he ran away laughing. He would do this all the fucking time, okay?
I know what you're talking about.
And he would pick on me all the time, blah, blah, blah. And like this shit happened all the fucking time. Literally, I remember being picked on more than happy childhood memories. So, I remember.
I met him, by the way, way after.
Oh, I
he's
did
like,
too.
He's like the nicest guy now.
I met him in college. We actually had a really dope conversation.
He's a really cool dude.
Yeah, that shit's under the bridge, and that's why I didn't bring him up in the fucking little links of shit. But anyway, fucking. So I would stand up for myself. You know, I would think about what my mom said and say fuck that, and I would stand up for myself, and I wouldn't cower and just walk away. I would fucking fight back, even if I lost. I don't fucking care.
You could go. You just wrestle him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now, yeah. My
Like
concern,
I don't want to like punch somebody in the face and destroy
no.
their face.
But you're right. Putting someone into submission with a full Nelson, it's kind of a good feeling.
Hey, your size.
Yeah.
See, but the thing is that if you had done something, you probably would have gotten in trouble.
Oh, easily.
Because you were a big kid.
But I don't care. Because here's the rub. And here's what I didn't get until way later. None of that matters. I was so scared. I was terrified, dude, all the way through high school. Like, from a kid all the way up, that like, well, if I get in trouble, that'll be on my permanent record.
What the fuck was a permanent record?
Like, I'll never get a job. Like, I don't know if my fucking my fear loops, my terror loops, my anxiety loops comes from this. But like whenever I think about shit now, I think about, well, if I don't work super hard to get this project done, I'm not going to make money. If I don't make money, my cats will die next week. And then my wife was going to leave me or die because I can't fund for our family. And that's where my brain always goes for every fucking scenario. It has gotten better in the past year.
What have you done to get it better?
Mantras really fucking help.
What's a mantra?
Every morning I wake up, I read the shit on my office wall, and then I have these little, it's just like 8 sayings. Half of them are business, half of them are, fuck what other people think, just do what you think is right kind of things. And then I have these little cards that I read one card every morning. And they're just like self-affirmation things like, I appreciate my body and what it can do, that kind of stuff. And it sounds silly, but like the more you do it, the more you're like, I'm kind of believing this. I'm kind of getting into this. I don't have to like be negative about this shit. So like the more I do that kind of shit, it really fucking makes me feel better. And it centers me when things are done. The other thing, like my other mantra is, it's just a thing. It's just a fucking thing. So, like, if I drop something and it breaks, it sucks, but I also don't pick up a screwdriver and whip it at a wall or, dude, I got really good at patching drywall. I have destroyed so many fucking things just because of anger. I've destroyed computer screens, multiple. I shattered, spiderwebbed, my dad's 1985 pickup truck's windshield because I flicked a guy off. And I did it a little too hard, and I punched the window instead of just flipping him off. I would constantly just break things all the time. And the past year or so, my mantra has been, it's just a thing. So like when we got the dog, she would scratch up the wooden floors. The wooden floors upstairs are hands down like my favorite thing about this house. I fucking love them. I've always wanted wood floors. And then I see her scratch on them, and like the groove, like you can't take the scratches out. So it sent me into rages so many times. And what kind of clicked was, this dog is not going to be here forever. This dog will die one day, and it'll fucking tear me up. And what am I going to remember? The fact that she's scratching up my fucking floors, like that's what I'm going to remember? Or am I going to remember all the great fucking things we did together and the times we spent cuddling and everything else? Because what it comes down to is, she is my family. The floor is just a thing.
Let the next people deal with it.
Why fucking worry about it when I should be focusing on the better things? Mm-hmm. So the just a thing mantra has really fucking turned my life for the better. I'm still trying. There's still those days.
Okay.
But it's just a thing, So yeah, I beat up 2 kids.
Like how we're gonna beat up children.
I mean,
What's the age of middle school again, or junior high?
12 and 13.
Oh man!
And
I'm gonna bop them right in the
I'm
head.
sorry, I wouldn't beat them up. I would just stand up for myself. Even if I lost, I would stand up for myself to give myself the. When I left my corporeal self. My past self would at least go, "Oh, I didn't fucking die."
You would leave a legacy of people saying, "Oh, dude, if you mess with that guy, he's gonna hurt you. Leave him alone."
But I'm also the guy who talks about Star Wars a lot.
And you could do that too.
You know, brought X-Men cards to school and just wanted to talk about
Sometimes,
comic
like
books and
especially with
shit.
like guys, like you usually have to pick a fight to get along with them. That's just a thing. Like
there's you and me?
There's no yeah. Almost all my friends are people who I previously had encounters with.
and
Almost all of them.
didn't hold a grudge.
And didn't hold a grudge. Yeah, you and I fought in junior high. I mean, I always thought, you were cool. We wrestled. We didn't fight.
Yeah, but like in high school, we got into some tiffs, and it was always something stupid. And literally, it was, okay, we're done now.
Yeah, it was not a big deal.
Yeah, it was never anything like concrete. It was just like, okay,
I don't know. I was really mean to Bob. I was pretty mean to Nick.
You brought this up today. Once
These are just
already.
people who are
Yeah.
was a real meathead too. I always knew Fredo. I knew Fredo from like
You guys were knee high to ducks, weren't you?
yeah. I knew him since he was like my first friend in kindergarten.
Kindergarten. Oh, I didn't know it went back that far.
Yeah, back in the days with Mrs. Ozelis.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could remember
Mrs. O.
teachers' names.
I remember he said, "My name is Fredo, and I'm 4 years old," and I thought it was the funniest thing. He liked playing with blocks too.
He's the kind of dude that I can imagine saying that in his 30s.
Yeah, I think I think I've heard him say that.
But like back it up when the real conversation clicks, you know?
Mm-hmm. I know. I always liked Pez. But But I roughed him up and did.
But that was sports, though.
Yeah, I don't know. No, that was
sports
when
was
he
never
quit
malicious.
wrestling, and I pulled some meathead shit.
Did
on him
you?
too. Oh yeah.
Pez, connect us if we're wrong, but I don't think I did. But again, my memory's shit, and I really don't want to think I was that person.
I was mad at him for quitting wrestling.
Yeah, well, and that's what my fear is. I hope I wasn't that way.
I was, and I was a dickhead.
Because especially looking back, it's like, dude, if you don't like something, fucking don't do it. That's one of the greatest pieces of advice I've ever heard, and it sounds so stupid. But it took a friend in my late 30s to tell me that.
Now, I've heard you say that. If you don't like something, don't do it. I don't 100%.
Well, I mean, okay, let's talk about it.
So I feel like if you're gonna like be open to try new things,
Yes,
even if you don't like it,
100%.
because you might actually enjoy it.
and you actually know me. I think you know me well enough to know that, oh, there's something new. I'll fucking try that. I love it. I go out of my way to try food I probably think I'm going to hate, but I'll try it. I try every.
Yeah, but will you try it a second time?
Nah, not if it sucked.
See,
Why?
I will try it a second time.
Why?
I want to know if I did it wrong the first time.
Did it wrong or ate like food?
If it
Let's
comes to
talk-
food,
let's talk about
like,
food specifically.
okay, food specifically, there is still one food that my body is very upset with.
Okay.
Indian food. I don't know what it is.
I can't do it either.
I don't know what it is, but my body rejects it.
Yeah.
I
I get sick,
get sick too. But
and I've had it multiple times.
But does that mean? But I've had homemade, like somebody I know will make me something, and I'll be fine, and it tastes great. But when I go to a place,
like a restaurant.
if I go to a restaurant, almost universally I get sick.
Uh-huh.
So like I don't know if I'm ordering something wrong, or maybe the places I'm going to aren't good. I mean, you got to imagine, like, if there's something you don't like, you're probably not going to spend a lot of money on it.
True.
So like, I'm not going to go to a super fancy Italian or Indian restaurant because I don't know if I like it or not, or if it's going to give me the runs or make me just feel nauseous all day.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go to the highest place. I'm going to go to like,
Bob's.
Yeah.
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 No.
Yeah, Bob's.
I just said Bob because it was like the easiest white name I could think of, and then I thought of Bob actually starting up an Indian restaurant.
So
And he's
that's-
like, I don't know what I'm making here.
Yeah. So that's the way that works with that.
yeah.
You know, but there'll be things that like, you know, I don't know if I'm good at it or, you know, it's something that I'm interested in and maybe I should do it more. You know, nobody's, you know, there are people who, if they're not like good at it immediately or they don't like have like a natural knack for it, they just immediately give up. And I think like you can like, you miss out on like probably some really cool things in life if you do that.
I agree with your statement. Let me clarify my meaning of this. I was sitting in a role-playing game at Gen Con, and it was a Harry Potter role-playing game, okay? And I was very excited to play it. I was super stoked. And I sat down with a group of friends who were all friends. I was the only odd one out, okay? And the rule of the game was, there are no rules. Just do what you want. Just have fun. And then I'm the guys that like, I'm the DM and I'll kind of guide the story along, but just do what you want. So we got to play iconic characters from the story, except for Harry. And then
Who were you?
I don't remember. I was like Seamus or whoever else. Like one of like the side characters, like the tier.
The Scottish kid.
Yeah, I think it was. So I would like, I want to go investigate, and everyone looked at me. They're like, well, that's dumb. I was like, well, that's what I think he would do. And they're like, well, that's dumb. Like, and the DM was like, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, okay. So I got to my turn again, and I was like, well, I want to go over here and check this out. And they're like, well, that's not fun. I was like, I'm playing by your rules. And basically, I sat there for 2 hours, and I didn't say a fucking word. Because I was just, why? Like, if you're just going to tell me everything I'm doing is wrong and you're not having fun by me trying to play the story.
Now, are you more upset that they told you could do whatever you want and they didn't let you do whatever you want? Or were you more upset that what they said you were doing was dumb?
I was more upset that I was trying to follow the rules.
But they said that there are no rules.
Yes.
So you were more upset. So had they said, like, this is the objective and this is what you're supposed to do?
There was no objective. We had to figure out the objective.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it was fucking terrible. So I sat there for 2 hours, and then I went to go visit my friends, and I told them the story, and they're like, oh, you should have just left. I was like, but I paid for it, and this is something, I said I would do it. So of course I'm going to do it, regardless of how I feel about it. And she goes, no, if you're not having a good time, why waste 2 hours of your life when you can just stand up and leave? I had never fucking thought that you could do that. It didn't dawn on me that if, like, you're really not having a good time, you could leave. My physical fucking brain said, stick it the fuck out, rub some dirt on it, and just stay.
Have you thought about ruining their day instead?
Yes.
I could totally see
I'm
myself
not that
spending.
person.
Ooh, I could totally spend 2 hours just ruining their day. And not in a mean way.
No.
Like, but I'm gonna make you question things.
That would be fun. If
I want to use the wand to find out who at this table's an idiot.
if
Look, it's pointed at me.
if I had someone with me there that I could feed off of, then it would be way easier. It would be way easier. Andrew and I did a role-playing game that same year where we were supposed to have 10 people. We were the only 2 who showed up. So we were like, fuck it, we're just going to have fun. And it was like a slasher game. We had to like run away from a slasher. And we were like, okay, you are going to do everything by the book trope-wise. I'm going to do everything not expected of a character. And we just fucked up the DM. The DM was like, it was super fun, but I had no idea what to do. I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, what? I mean, otherwise, like, you can't play a game that's designed for 10 people with 2.
Was this a Gen Con?
Yeah. So let's get off of that because we've already talked about it. But the fact that it's not like if I go to a job, okay, and the job is hard, am I going to just walk away from it? No. That's fucking stupid. Or if friends invite me out to food that I'm not interested in, or a movie that I'm not interested in, or something, an activity that's just not my thing. Am I going to turn them down just because, well, that's stupid? No, I'm not going to. Just because I don't like it, I will still try it. I will still experience it.
Would you make them feel bad for asking you?
No.
Have you done that?
No, I don't think so.
Jay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you've done that.
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh, God, definitely not intentionally.
You would, well, in a very Jay way, you would be like, they'd be like, oh, man, that was a great time. How'd you like it? Oh, God, that was awful.
Oh, I will speak my mind, though. Don't ask me the fucking question.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where, like, you're shitting in their pudding a little bit.
Don't ask me.
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry. Don't ask me. Just be like, cool. That was a good time. I'll be like, cool. Don't ask me the question.
I mean,
and
you
especially
can
when it comes
sugarcoat
to food. Especially when it comes to food. There's no.
Yeah, I don't trust your
Don't
opinion on
fucking
food.
no. Okay, yeah. I agree. I've come to the conclusion
you
that
have
my
told me
palate is shit.
I don't. I think you mix up experience with taste. Like, I don't think those should be separated to me.
Explain that.
But for you, it's one thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if somebody makes, like if I'm at a barbecue and somebody makes something that's really fucking good.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, wow, that's great. And you'd be like, they're like, no. Like there was no experience for me for that.
I don't think I'm that way.
And also, and I don't know if this was a part of your character for the last podcast. But if somebody can grill something and it tastes really good and you're like, well, how was the bread? Do you honestly believe that if you're grilling something, if the bread is not
first off, I know the exact reference you're talking to.
Yes.
I remember the fucking meal
yes
that you're talking about. Yes, but the last show where
you're speaking hyperbole.
Extrapolated my
All right.
hatred is character based.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll stop eating a sandwich. Like, you know how you get like sandwiches at like Jewel or something?
Mm-hmm.
If the bread is stale or if the bread
If
isn't
it's super
good-
soft.
No, I like super
Ooh,
soft.
No, like the bread at Subway, I won't eat at Subway anymore because I can't stand the bread.
Really?
Because it's like
I
it's,
love that.
It's super cheap garbage bread.
Yeah, it is.
See, and this is.
But like really dense bread?
It's not.
I can't eat
Oh my
that.
god, I love dense bread.
Really?
Like a thicker sourdough or like a chewier sourdough.
Oh, chewy I'm okay with.
But
It's-
the bread there is like you can tell that
It's like fucking air.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like air, and it's like, what can I do to make this as cheap as
Yes,
possible?
yes.
That would technically hold all of the ingredients in for most of the
Bread.
time. Yeah, bread,
And
quote
then hold in
unquote.
the ingredients of the sandwich.
It technically kind of holds the ingredients together. Because they had to pay off all the lawsuits because of Jared.
Yeah. Okay, Subway sandwiches bread is definitely the I mean it is bottom fucking tier.
It's so gross.
Jimmy John's is probably my favorite sandwich bread of a chain.
I've been recently ruined by Jimmy John's.
Really? What happened?
I love Jimmy John's,
Yeah.
and I think that the Jimmy John pickle is the greatest flavor of pickle ever.
It's just sour enough without being tart or gross.
Their pickles are amazing.
Yeah.
And as a Christmas gift,
I bought myself a pickle.
Nick and Bella bought me the 5-gallon jug of pickles.
Yeah.
And dude, that was awesome. I had pickles all the time. I was mowing them down. But the last time, this was like a month ago. I ordered a pickle, and they cut the pickle, and I opened it right before I ate it. There was a grub in there, like the size of my pinky, and that grossed me out so much that I haven't been back.
Did you tell them?
No.
Oh, this is such a weird dichotomy of being able to. Should you tell someone, or should you just let it fucking go? Why did you let it go?
I didn't want to waste my time. Like, it wasn't worth the $1.50 for the pickle to go all the way back to the store because we had it delivered.
Would you demand a refund, or would you just want to tell them that, hey, you might want to check your pickles?
Well, there's an allowable amount of bugs and feces to
Correct.
be in all food.
Correct. But it's
and if you've
not
ever
a
gut
grub.
Yeah, if you've ever gut like an animal and like had to like process the meat,
Yeah.
and you can see how easily shit can get everywhere.
Yeah. You nick one little pouch.
Oh yeah, and it just makes everything disgusting. So, like, the fact that you're getting like all this processed stuff that goes to millions of people, like you know that this stuff is just covered in bugs and shit.
Of course, but not
And
not a grub.
A huge grub.
That's
And
fucking
I think
gross.
the thing that like was really, they cut it in half. Like now, like I would make them cut every single pickle in half.
Oh,
now.
no
That,
question.
like
That's
really
in
grossed
my
me
head.
out. And it was not small, and they would like bisected the bug in perfect two, so I saw on both sides. It was so gross. Oh. So what's the next age group that we would go
High
to?
school.
High school.
High school.
And would this be for a week?
I'm sorry.
I know,
I'm just
right?
tasting the fucking grub.
Would this be for a week, or would this be for?
See, like the fantasy about high school is I would change a lot of shit. I think this is
Would
the
you?
age I've thought a lot about.
You technically could kind of take the ball and run with it, and just say your teachers are really good.
Yep. In high school, you don't have to hide it anymore.
Yeah.
All right. In no particular order, we're gonna name 5 things each that we would do.
Okay.
Whatever it is, don't put too much thought into it. Give me the first 5 things that pop into your head. Just one right now, then I'll give one, then you give one.
Like 5 things that we would change, because I mean it's a scenario.
Yeah. So what would you do? You wake up. It is.
I'd be, but first and foremost, I'd be nice. I'd be way nicer to everybody.
Okay, so that's like just straight off the bat, like the
I
whole
would not
time.
the whole asshole John thing. If I could do it over again, I would like to remove that part from my
Okay,
life.
we're going all the way through high school together. By the way.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
and we don't know each other. It's like I mean we don't know the other person is.
I don't know. Well, no. The thing is that I know you, but I wouldn't know that
You wouldn't know that I would be back in the same period because if
Dude,
this is happening at the same time.
All right.
period-
No, but here's the thing. Eventually, I would say something because I'm dealing with Jay. I go, "Hey, dude, do you want to play 20 questions?" And if you said tank on the first go,
it would be instant.
I would immediately know. Are you doing the thing that I'm
Yeah.
doing?
Because that shit we didn't actually start.
We
doing that
kind of
until
share
later.
the same brain on a lot of things.
What's the fucking?
I don't know.
What movie is that from? God damn it! They share the same brain.
I don't know.
I think it's
But
Bill and Ted.
I know that I know when I hang out with you and your wife and vice versa. Yeah, essentially like everybody else just kind of fades out and we both share one brain for a while.
Yeah, no, that is super true. Okay,
Okay, my number one, I'd be way nicer to people.
all right, fuck it. Let's just fucking choose the scenario. We're both going in. We're both there at the same time, which is fucking weird. I've never thought about this scenario before. We're both there at the same time. We
Same time.
eventually find out that instantly, dude, your scenario of the tank, yeah, 100%.
It would eventually
that
happen.
would have been mine too.
It eventually would happen because let's face it,
Yeah.
nothing really changed from when we were like freshmen dissecting pigs together. We just talk about the same stuff and
Yes,
giggle like
yes.
a bunch of girls.
So what the hell is it, a Saurus?
Yeah. So I know eventually we'd probably figure it out.
Yeah,
It would not, and I don't think it would take very long.
It would be faster than you'd think it would be. Okay, so you'd be nicer to
I'd be
people.
way nicer to people.
Okay. Oh God, I wouldn't try so hard in most of my classes. That's been on my mind a long time. Most of my classes, I wouldn't give too much of a shit about, except for the ones where like it meant something to me. Like psychology, I would have spent more time with. Art, I would have spent more time with.
Second thing, I would have done theater instead of football.
Okay. I mean, fuck.
I would have done football.
We've talked about this numerous times. The exact same thing. No question. Football would not be on my radar. I did football because my dad asked me to. That was it. I enjoyed hanging out with you. I enjoyed hanging out with like maybe 6 or 7 other people.
Mm-hmm.
It
Really was a
I don't give
complete
a fuck.
waste. It was a complete waste of time.
Yes. I hated the fucking coaches. Any kind of rah rah, hoorah, go a Chicago kind of thing that I expressed felt like I had to. I was forced to be that way.
Yeah. It was awful to be forced to go up against schools that had 3 times the amount of students,
Size, quality, skill, education in this fucking sport. Dude, it wasn't until I left high school that I fucking figured out how to play football.
No?
I didn't fucking know.
Mm.
I remember sitting with the Huskies at NIU and they were going over game plans and I was like, motherfucker, that's what we've been doing this whole time?
You didn't know?
We're opening up holes for people to run through? Why has that never been talked about?
Is it because you didn't wear your glasses during
I was blind until senior year.
Yeah. I mean, they went over everything on like what you're going to be doing. And you knew. I mean, I paid attention to that stuff. I wouldn't have done football.
Nope.
I
Same,
really, it wasn't worth getting like, I don't know, like just absolutely trounced. Like all the ibuprofen and all the pain and all that
My
stuff.
back is still fucked up.
Yeah.
Wildly.
Well, my back got fucked up by wrestling. But-
Mine's football.
So, okay, so does that count as 3?
That's 2.
That's 2.
That's 2. And we're both the same fucking thing on 2. I
Um,
knew that one was going to come up.
No, mine was.
No, yours was be nicer to people, and
Yours was you wouldn't care about school.
that's my number 1. Your number 2 is fuck football. My number 2 is fuck football. I would have done theater.
I guess like something I enjoy my time. Like I don't know if I would do the military.
Well,
Like, would I have to do the military
We're not there
again?
yet. Let's talk
Well,
about high school first.
Well, no, you got. So I was I just
You
didn't
were-
try. I wasn't. I got good grades, but like I never applied myself. I didn't even apply to college. My mom applied, and I got
Oh,
in to go
shit.
to NIU.
I got an 18 both times on my ACT, which was the bare fucking minimum for NIU.
I got 18 or 19. Yeah.
And the first time I was sick as shit. So my dad's like, well, you got to take it again because you were sick and you just didn't do good. I got the exact same fucking grade the second time.
I would have probably, if you studied for that. Had I studied, I think I would have gotten a better grade.
Would you have gone someplace else?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is like that, and this is where the crux to the thing is that everything that's happened to me has made me.
Correct. That's the butterfly effect. It's every little decision has brought you to where you are right now. That's
Yeah, but
why
you get to like kind of go at it again with your brain.
I would
you
go
get
at
your
it
cake
and make
and
a
eat
lot
it
of the
too.
same decisions. I would go to NIU.
I don't know. If I do
NIU
the
was some of the best
military.
times of my life because of the people I met there and the people I got to like be around more. And we got to be more humans.
I love my wife.
Mm.
And I don't know how she would have been at NIU the exact same time.
She was.
And I could meet her there.
She was
instead.
my friend's roommate.
Yeah, I could have like totally met my
We
wife
could
way
have
earlier.
all hung out together.
Isn't that crazy? My wife was always just kind of like 15 minutes away. Like at all the places that we lived
Yep.
and all the friends that we had, she was always just kind of
She
there.
was 2 buildings away from you.
Isn't that crazy? No, she wasn't there when I was
in
there.
Stevenson.
She was in Stevenson, but
Not when you were there.
I dropped out of NIU the year she started.
Sophomore year, right?
I never even got the sophomore year.
Oh, I thought you did.
Never even got the sophomore year. No,
Oh, okay.
I hung out there a lot because I was dating somebody there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's
So pre-college, what's your number 3? You just wouldn't do military? That was like
well, no,
a
I would
deciding factor.
I would try harder in school.
Okay.
And I would apply myself, and like I would try and get scholarships and stuff. Like
mm.
I would try to get
Oh.
school paid for, because like a big reason why I did military is because I just didn't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
College was so cheap back then.
No shit.
No,
Oh my God,
I
compared
actually
to now.
I couldn't go to NIU. They don't have architecture.
Oh.
They don't have
Well,
architecture.
okay, so that brings me to my next point. I would not have gone the comic book route because, whatever. I found fucking pure love in film. I would have made films all the way through high school because of all the goddamn time and free help.
And everybody would have helped.
And everyone would have jumped on it.
You could have been making films at a young.
I could have been making. Dude. I do have notebooks of ideas, but most of them are in my head, of just like fucking plot lines and stupid little stories and everything else. But I would never have stopped. I would have been editing deck to deck on VCRs. My dad had it. He worked for the public access. So I could have done fucking deck to deck editing on, and then when High 8 came out or Mini DV, I'd jump on that shit. Oh fuck! I would work, I'd make money, and I'd buy film gear, and I would fucking make movies while wrestling. Not during wrestling season, because the wrestling that's made me more confident in who I am. Like you put me in front of a group of hundreds of people in a room, I have zero fucking problem talking to them. One-on-one, I'm confident as shit. I'm good people person. I don't like it, but I'm good at it. I think wrestling was a deciding factor for that. Part of me thinks if I'm going to get in a fight, because hell can break loose at any time, I can probably hold my own with most of these people. Because everything's going to die all the time because of one decision that I make.
And it wouldn't matter. Yeah.
So, so that's my number 3. I'd fucking make movies all the goddamn time.
No. Okay. So I would have...
tried harder.
I would have been nicer.
Yep.
Done theater.
Yep.
Tried harder.
Yep.
I would have taken the drafting classes, and I would have done the architecture stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And then that would have been able to give me a portfolio. See, I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to go to college.
Yeah, but don't worry about college right now. Think about what's fundamental to you.
I would have done more of the architecture classes.
I still would have done NIU, even though their fucking film program, they have a media program, and it was trash.
Yeah, but there is no. It would have been UI. The only places I could go would be UIC, Judson, IIT. I probably could have gone to IIT or SIU. I loved SIU though.
Yeah, and if I was at NIU, we'd still fucking have all the connections. You made a lot of friends at NIU. A lot of people hold you dear.
I really liked my very brief tenure at Northern Illinois University. I did make a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they still hold you dear to this day.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So you'd still have the connections. And especially if we knew this going into it, we would still try to make those connections.
Yeah, we'd force it to happen.
We would force it to fucking happen.
I think
Dude, you got to come up this weekend. I have homework. You know what's happening this weekend. You know. All right. I'll be there. And then you would have a whole new experience as well. But I would have done film from the beginning at college. Fuck everything else.
So it would be the number 5?
Number 4. For me. So.
Oh, that's your number 4. Okay.
Well, no, that was not my number 4. Now we're on number 4 because you said I gotta think about where I'm going to go to college. I'm like, don't worry about college yet, and I cut you off. So
I would have taken architecture
drafting.
classes.
You would have taken drafting.
I would have done all the drafting classes,
Gotcha.
so I had an actual portfolio to go into school.
Okay, yeah. Oh God, my number 4. Like these are like the big. Oh, you know what? You know what? Oh my God, I cringe about this. This shit wakes me up in the middle of the night sometimes. How I acted around girls, like the girlfriend I had in high school. Her name was Laura, and I probably would not have dated her. That shit was just a fucking landmine waiting to happen. I wouldn't have cared so much. I always cared about like, oh, how do I look? How am I acting around girls? Because they're fucking foreign to me. And like, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't the scary fucking Sasquatch that I saw myself as. And I wanted to be cool, you know? And then when you realize how dumb you are when you try to be cool, you stop trying and then you just become fucking awesome.
If you're just nice to people.
Yeah.
And you just kind of have the conversation roll
just
whichever way it does.
I was always so jealous of you for that. Because, yeah.
I didn't know how to talk to girls. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you remember? Hey, do you like swimming?
Oh,
Swimming's cool.
I remember that conversation.
Swimming is neat. I don't know. I was terrified.
Do you remember the time that the girl that you were dating, the girl I was dating, we were at one of their houses. I think it was your girlfriend's house.
And we were worried about shitting in the bathroom.
Well, we go downstairs. They're still upstairs. They're in two different rooms. Like, we're making out with both of them at the same time. And we go downstairs, and you're making me laugh. I forget what you were saying, but you're like, shut the fuck up. They're going to hear you. And I just couldn't stop farting. I was farting so goddamn much. They're like, they're going to fucking hear you fart. Man, this fucking conversation went down real quick. So, 4 was drafting. My 4 was don't fucking act so goddamn stupid around the opposite sex. I was always so worried about that. And just do your shit, man. Don't worry about everybody else. Just fucking do your shit.
Let's see. Number 5. Number 5 would be... I want to be nice to everybody.
So you want to be nice to everyone. You want to do drafting.
Ooh, man, I would have handled my father in a different way.
That's where I thought that was going to go.
I would handle my dad in a totally different way.
How?
I don't know. Like, he was like a super angry version of himself that he is now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would try to talk to him like a. See, you wouldn't be able to talk to him like it was an adult.
Right.
He would just be furious if I talked to him.
You're still the fucking kid.
I wouldn't let it get to me for sure. I mean, like, I kind of know. I know. I don't know. I guess not how things ended up.
Future.
But I know your future. Better. Yeah. I think I would. I don't know. Like, my family doesn't get along very well at all. None of us do. Nobody really talks.
Do you think you would have rectified that, or at least start patching things?
I think I would probably try and patch things.
With who?
All of them.
Yeah,
Nobody in my family talks to each other. Nobody.
What? Okay. Like, what kind of patch would you try? But before these splits even happened, because I remember, you guys were close.
I mean,
you and your brothers.
We would fight, but
yeah,
I don't
but
know.
that's
like now it just seems like everything's like my sister doesn't talk to anybody anymore. My brothers and I don't really talk anymore. Like I'll message like that's Mikey a little bit.
Yeah.
Jeff doesn't really talk to me anymore. I don't know. I mean, it's lonely. Like, it sucks that Like the beginning of it was when the one grandpa died, and like everybody, like all the the extended family all just kind of got scattered to the wind. I don't know how I could have done it. I don't know.
But you would have been more involved with it on the daily basis, so I think.
But I don't know what I could have done. Like, even like now, even just looking back, it all just kind of seemed like it was just a series of stuff that was inevitable.
Everything can change.
I don't know.
It doesn't know if you change it for the better or not.
I think like with the whole like be nicer to everybody, because my family always just the idea was, oh, you're going to be an asshole. Well, watch how big of an asshole I can be. Like, I would have just not done that with them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would just have been. I don't know. Try to be like more of a peacemaker probably instead of just trying to double down on asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'd have like a family now. I don't know. Maybe it would work. But there was just, I don't know. I think there was so many other things that were out of my, like, it's not something that one person could control. I don't know. I'd say I would have done my best to maybe have a family. I think I would do that. So I'd try. Give it the old college try. What about you?
Masturbated less.
Way less?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry, I wanted to break. I wanted to break that tension.
I got up those numbers. Those are amateur numbers.
I don't know. Like the simple answer that comes to mind is not worry about the stupid shit. because that's what like everyone says, right? Like everyone says when they're looking back at their life, or when you're older and you're talking to someone younger, is like, don't sweat the small stuff. But when the small stuff is happening to you, it's fucking biblical. It's fucking epidemic in the moment.
When you're young?
When you're young, or even now. Dude, my fucking dog scratches my floor, and it ruins my day. Until you fucking step back and actually look at it. But in the moment, sometimes it doesn't feel so small. It doesn't feel so silly. You know, I found out my girlfriend was cheating on me in high school, and it fucking destroyed me. In retrospect, I should have said, fuck it. Go do something else.
I was yelling in your face to do that.
Again, when you're in the fucking moment, you don't
I would literally,
know.
What was that one thing where Louis C.K.? I would just point at her face. Don't do anything with this. Tell this thing to go away.
And it was hard.
I know. You were a doormat, dude.
Yeah, I totally was. I absolutely totally was. And in my fucking little teenage brain, I thought, well, that's the only girlfriend you're ever going to have. Because no one's ever going to like you. You know, this is the one girl who, like, oh my God, dude. I broke her into dating me. I didn't just ask her out. I asked her out for a year. And then she said, okay, for a Christmas present. That was sophomore year's Christmas present from her, was she said, yes, let's go out.
How long were you with her?
Three years, I think, yeah. Long enough to not know better in the time. Long enough to think, well, this is the girl I'm going to make. Dude, I remember near the end of our relationship when things were, like, really fucking going bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, this is so fucking dark to say, and I don't think I've ever said this out loud. I was thinking, like, well, fuck, I can't break up with her. How do I kill her?
Serious?
Like,
That's weird that your brain did that.
Can I make her go away and not get caught so I don't have to break up with her? And I remember every time like that shit seeped into my head, I was
how long did that thought last?
Oh, like at a time, or how many times did I think it?
So it happened more than once?
Oh, fuck yeah. Like, it would wake me up in the middle of the night. It's be like something would like wake me up, it would shudder, and I just like you feel your brain like talking to you, and your brain's just like, you should go kill her now. And it's like, that's fucking stupid. I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah. So this is what you would think, so you wouldn't have to break up, or she wouldn't break up with you?
Both. I didn't want to go through the pain or anything or the loss. But death felt way easier to me.
Ugh. Dude, being a teenager,
and that's what it is, right there. It's fucking just stupid
fucking
bullshit.
Stupid angst.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I guess maybe that is my answer, is not sweating the small stuff, because the small stuff seems so big at the time, but I mean, even like a year later, even like, I don't know, a month, whenever like I was starting to get over shit, it was like, oh, fuck, what? Why was I fucking like that?
You're comfortable. 3 years with one person?
Yeah, but
at that time,
it was more than that too. I've acted like that with other relationships when the time came to break up. I think I'd act like that now to a certain degree, but I'm in love, you know. Like, I'm so fucking happy in my relationship that if something were to go wrong, it would fucking crush me.
Dude. Yes. Did I tell you about... I don't want to say this out loud.
Okay.
The video. There's a video online of a guy who's riding, like, with his wife in the car.
You told me about this.
Yeah. And like a cinder block just gets dropped off of a bridge and it kills his wife instantly.
Yeah, you told me about this.
And you just hear the guy like freaking out.
We talked about this after the show last time.
Yeah. And like, dude, that's been like rattling. Like, why do we watch this stuff?
Yeah.
Why does that happen?
Yep.
Like, somebody even said, "Oh my God, why do I watch this?" I'm like, I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah, that's where.
Oh my God.
I won't go there anymore. I've seen and heard and know what's out there. I don't want fucking nothing to do with it.
I can't imagine that with my wife. Like, that would be like to have like catastrophically taken away in front of you
in a second. Where you couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's like a lightning
bolt. Nope.
I can't picture that.
I do think about it. Not like wishing it would happen, but like, how could I stop things if I saw it in a second? So like, whenever like there's a bump in the road, I love my wife, but I will hurt her by how hard I slam my arm against her chest, so her head doesn't hit the fucking dashboard. Like a bubble happens. Like, ah! You okay? She's like, not anymore, you dick. Anyway, so yeah, I wouldn't sweat the small stuff.
Are we bumping up in age?
Nah, do you really want to? I think every decision past that was fucking perfect. Actually, like
I don't. Well, the thing is I can't imagine. Like, I think if you go all that time, like my life would be so different. I wouldn't even know what my decisions would be anymore.
No, because your decisions would wildly change.
I don't know. Yeah, then you'd be living a totally different life with another person's brain.
Yeah.
I think that this would make a cool movie. But you say that like they do this in anime
All the time.
See,
All the
well,
time.
what to me, what's like super creepy is like the obvious, the obvious sex stuff with like high school kids, which is something that like Hollywood and everything does. But like the Japanese are like really weird about that.
Yeah.
Except they don't do high school; they go like grade school.
There was I don't want to go down this road,
so
but
weird.
I know enough about it that I can talk at length about this, and it fucking freaks me out.
It's so gross and weird.
Yes, it is.
So
For shits and giggles, the reason those exist is because people do have those urges. They do think those things, and there is a law on the Japanese books that says, of course, child pornography is fucking evil and illegal, and you will go to jail. But drawing it, they're not real. So the argument about that is, you are satisfying someone's urges by putting this out there without actually physically harming someone. To me, it's like you're advertising this as an okay thing.
is like I don't know, like you don't know this number off the top of your head, but like
8
per capita
percent.
you don't even know per capita.
Yeah.
Like how is like is it worse in America or is it worse there?
You mean pedophilia?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like if theirs is more like on the surface, but it never gets worse.
Well,
But here like there's an entire
a dude right down the street from me got
What?
fucking nabbed by the FBI like 2 years ago.
The weird thing is right now there's this massive campaign to blame it on trans people.
Oh,
But
I heard
the
about
one
this.
oh you've only heard about it, but the one thing that is if you are in some sort of religious group, you are more likely to be
Yeah, right.
diddled than anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, is that going to be like a trans guy like reading a book? Like, your pastor is going to do some weird shit to you.
Yes. I am not worried about the people who want to share bathrooms with me. I could give a shit less about that where they shit. I care about people fucking children. And those are the people who are in charge of organizations, who can get away with shit. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm more scared of the white guy in a suit than I am the black guy walking on the side of the street with me.
Yeah.
It just...
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know there's pedophilia of all nature, but why, when you Google it, pedophiles in my area or sex offenders in my area, why are most of them white? Just throwing it out there.
Well, now I got to look in my area.
Oh, don't, because now you're flagged.
No, it's not?
No.
No, they have watchdog groups.
Yeah, of course they do.
I haven't seen it. I haven't looked my
There's
area
quite a
up.
few apps too.
Now I want to check that out.
Yeah, but the guy who was down the street from me, not like this street, but like a ways away, but in the same time, in Elgin, he was caught with like 30 terabyte of child porn.
That's a lot.
That's a fuck ton.
Like, what do you need that much for?
But, oh, God, I do not want to go down this road because...
Is it because he's selling it?
I don't know. That makes it... What would be worse is if he's facilitating and making it.
Ooh, yeah, that's dark.
I have a friend in the FBI who works in the the cyber crime division, and he doesn't work directly with this, but he says he has buddies in the department, and we've talked about it before. But he says it's his friends who leave there at the end of a shift. It's a good day when they don't cry.
Oh my God!
Because it's like they said, like, I mean, the number, like, almost all of those kids in porn are, God, I do not want to fucking talk about this, but, like, again, like, we're talking about real shit. I want to at least put it out there if someone doesn't know. But most of those kids are either family members are doing this to them, or they're child slaves. They're like, they're kidnapped and then sold into slavery, and then that's what they become. Most of them don't survive.
Oh my God! Yeah, I wonder if the
It's fucking nauseating.
like if they do that in Japan and
Like,
it's all on the surface.
Do you think it? Yeah.
Is it worse here because it's this gross festering thing? Nobody talks about it, so there's nothing you can do about it.
I think anything will get worse if you don't talk about it, if you don't address it, if you just villainize it and don't fucking discuss it, then it's just in secret and it'll still fucking happen.
I mean, you have to have the conversation of religious organizations.
Yeah,
are going to. You're going to increase the probability that your kid's going to get diddled.
Yeah.
If you have them anywhere near a religious organization.
The fucking numbers don't lie.
But the thing is if you talk to them, it's a guy who's dressed in a wig and wants to go to the bathroom. Or some guy. It's the high school kids trying to do the swimming. We don't want any boy swimmers that are girl swimmers.
I was like, I just immediately
trans
thought about Fredo,
athletes
'cause
are
he
the
was
real
like,
problem here.
Yeah,
Jay.
trans athletes. Oh my God. Fucking just fight. I don't fucking
Have you
care.
noticed that it almost seems like every single accusation is actually them admitting what they're doing?
How do you mean?
I mean, if you think about it, like, what is the best way to game the system to make sure that you never get caught? If I'm doing awful things and I'm in politics,
Yeah.
if I'm like, shit, I did this awful thing where I just raped an entire busload full of clowns. Well, you know what I should do? I should say that the other side are raping entire buses full of clowns. So when they say that it's me doing it, I'll be like, well, you see what's going on? It's just the media.
They're blaming us.
They're blaming us.
You know the satanic panic of the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, where everyone was up in fucking high heart about Satanists are taking over your town and they're doing rituals and they're killing dogs. No, they weren't. It's fucking proven fact. Look this up. It is the fucking churches going around and setting up fake photo shoots, or actually, in some cases, actually doing these killings and shit for churches, for Christian churches, and saying that Satanists are ruining America. We need to fight against them because the reason is because their numbers were dwindling in church. Same reason the movie industry got up in arms because of TV. TV entered people's houses, so they had to do something wild and made widescreen. Fucking blew people's minds. The church said Satanists are killing your kids.
So you have to save yourself.
So you have to save yourself and bring your kids to church. Everything skyrocketed. We already had this conversation, but have you ever talked to a Satanist? They're pretty level-headed people.
Yeah, they're nerds usually.
And they're usually nerds, and they just believe in not fucking with others.
Yeah. I got no problem with nerds. Yeah, the whole...
And if Satanists are the ones playing Dungeons and Dragons, fucking invite me in. I'm fucking there.
I told you this before. Like, the GOP numbers are dwindling so bad.
Yeah.
That, like, now they have to throw all these different groups together to be able to get enough votes. I mean, dude, if you're on the side where it's like, all right, dude, we need to have Nazis on our side, Well, we're not going to have enough votes. Like, dude, you're on the wrong side.
Oh, tagline of the fucking century.
Seriously.
Dear GOP, if you have to have Nazis on your side.
Yeah, or you're not going to get enough votes. I told you, like, since the 1988 election of George Bush Sr., the GOP has only won the popular vote for the presidency one time.
That's so bizarre. That's so bizarre to think about.
When their numbers are dwindling, young people aren't voting for the GOP.
I fucking hope not. The problem is when I do see younger people speaking out and with the mindset of a boomer on the right side, and it's like, who has been lying to you, or what cock are you sucking to get this fucking bullshit just so you can get to that next level, that next job? Because, you know, like we were talking before the podcast started, like colleges are doing away with affirmative action, or I mean, they're choosing it themselves. But you brought up something that was really interesting. Is now you're getting rid of the grandfather clause of like.
No, it's it's not being grandfathered. It's
the other thing,
legacy.
Legacy. Thank you.
The legacy entry of if your parents went in, you automatically get in.
Just because Dad went here and he helped fund a new fucking gymnasium means I get to go there too.
Great grandpa owned a bunch of slaves, so he had money. And, willy nilly, guess what? If you have one grandfather who owned all them slaves, and he was able to afford to get into Yale or Harvard, well, just everybody else just gets a free entry.
Right. So getting rid of that makes me insanely happy. Like, open up that playing field a little bit, because the motherfucker who believes in the right wing and what they're actually preaching and shit are those people who have been spoon-fed the shit the whole lives. And if they don't preach it, whether they believe it or not, they're not going to get to the next level or their trust fund.
Those kids are going to actually have to try now. or
go back in time.
Or they're going to or go back in time.
No way am I ending the fucking podcast there, by the way.
No, that would have been a good ending. There.
Yeah, I know. There's too many things I want to talk about. Speaking of which, I wanted to discuss this with you because I want a face-to-face conversation about this. I brought something up in the chat group with the friends. I don't know if it was this week or last week. My fucking week has been fucking insane with work. But I want to introduce a new podcast to the regime that we are building here. And basically what it boils down to is I had an idea one day that I wanted to voice, and I just wanted to fucking rant about it. I didn't want to have notes. I didn't want to have specs or figures. I just wanted to voice an opinion for like 10 minutes and then be done with it. And usually I do that on my vlog, but my vlog is actually starting to get traction now, so I have to be a little more business conscientious about what I'm putting up on my vlog. So I want to start a new podcast that allows people to stand on a soapbox, say what they want to say, whatever it is, and give them a outlet to talk about it. To do this, I have parameters, and that's where I'm kind of failing to see the finish line.
Did you read any of the comments that we got?
I read every single one.
So what do you? I think I see some clear issues.
So first and foremost, let me finish this up real quick. The base of the podcast is to give a voice to the voiceless, people who don't have a place to talk or a wide enough audience. And granted, our audience right now is nil, but we're moving more toward a only podcast site. And then once we get the RSS feed up and shit like that, we're just send this out to everywhere. So hopefully something will pick up. And my hope is that someone just listens and it helps. Like, not like changes a life, but maybe someone just goes, yeah, I fucking get that.
Or mildly entertained on their way to work.
Or mildly entertained, whatever. Yeah, exactly. Because not all our podcasts on the show are thought-provoking good conversations. Some of them are just, let's talk about movies for 2 hours. So
some of those can be good too.
They're fucking amazing, and I love doing them, and I miss doing them. But I want to give a voice to people who don't usually have this, or who don't want to do a whole show every week or something like that. Maybe you just want to talk for half an hour. Maybe you just want to tell a story that means something to you. And my my first thought, and I brought this up in the group before anyone said anything, is I want to limit people. Like, I want to be able to listen to it before it goes live, and I don't want to have anyone on there who promotes hate speech or anything that could be demonizing to other human beings in a negative way. But how do you fucking justify that? And that's the question I asked, and everyone chipped up and said really smart shit.
They mostly said, I probably wouldn't do that, and I don't, like, they wouldn't even know where to start.
Right.
Because your requirement is they'd have to give you
An audio recording.
They'd have to give you an hour. I don't even know how I would do. Like, who has enough room on their phone to have an hour of talking time?
Everyone does. Because an audio recording does not have to be great quality. And that's something I did specify in is I'm not looking for podcasting mics. I'm not looking for cloud lifters. I'm not looking for sound dampeners and everything else. I want people who don't have this shit to at least have the ability to say something. And a phone is the easiest fucking thing.
How large of a file would a 1 hour?
It doesn't have to be 1 hour.
But how long would it be?
Okay.
How large would it be?
Well, this is me throwing numbers around, but an hour-long conversation at decent quality. Not great, not bad, maybe 100 meg.
How do you send a 100 meg file from your phone?
I already have set this up. I pay a subscription fee to a service called WeTransfer, and WeTransfer, if it's under 2 gig, is absolutely free to everyone all the time. So I have drafted up a sheet or a PDF for you to download on how to use WeTransfer, because it's really fucking easy. Literally, you just drag and drop and send it into an email, and it's done. And then I get it. I like WeTransfer. It's fantastic.
The other thing that they brought up is if there's no prompt, they have a hard time.
True. That was a great point. I would love, like, we could do that too. Is like we could like come up with different prompt ideas. Like,
You want to come up with one now?
Sure. What would you do if you had to go back to high school? Like, if you were transferred back in time to high school, what 5 things would you do?
This is the time machine question that we got asked a bajillion times by everybody.
Yeah. It's about fucking time we start asking everybody else.